Welcome. In this short video, we will walk through the Commerce Layer Postman collection, which enables you to easily access Commerce Layer's API and test several resources. Let's take a look. Start by navigating to the Commerce Layer collection by visiting postman.com/commercelayer. Once there, click on the Commerce Layer API collection. The date is dynamic and it will change as we make new releases. Go directly to the page where you'll see a collection of all the API endpoints available on the left sidebar of the page. Next, you can fork the collection. Click on the Fork button and create a label that enables you to identify your fork from other forks. Select a workspace to fork into. This can be your personal or team workspace. And ensure you click the Watch Original Collection. This will ensure you get notified when we make any changes to the original collection. Once Postman has completed your fork, you will be taken back to the main collection interface, where you will now navigate to the workspace you forked into. It'll take some time for the fork to appear. Generally, to communicate with Commerce Layer API, you need to make your request with an access token and your organization slug. To make it easier and ensure you don't add this for every request you make, you can set up an environment in the collection and reuse your credentials for every request. Click on the Environments tab to begin. Start by defining your first variable. In our example, we want to begin by launching a new cake store organization already created in Commerce Layer. To do this, we define a variable called subdomain and give it an initial value of cake store, which is the organizational slug. It's required that you use subdomain here, as all the API requests are expecting the same variable name. Our next step is to add an access token. This allows Postman to access our Commerce Layer store based on the defined permissions. We should mention that you can learn more about this by reading the documentation of the collection. Once you have generated an access token based on your needs, create access_token variable and insert it into the initial value field. Finally, rename your new environment. In this case, we'll call it Cake Store Organization, and save it. Now we have successfully created an environment. You can go back to the Collections tab and see all of the Commerce Layer APIs and endpoints available to you within the new environment. Bundles, carrier accounts, customers, etc. Let's take a look at the Orders API endpoint. Type orders in the search box and click on the list of all orders. Make sure to switch to the environment you created, in our case, the Cake Store Organization. You can find this in the top right of the screen. Once there, click on the Headers tab to see the key value pairs that comprise the specific GET request. As you can see in the interface, the subdomain variable that you defined is shown in the URL in the GET request, and the access token is used as the authorization header. When you click Send, Postman will show you the API response that is returned from the Commerce Layer API. Let's take a look at one more example. Expand the Customer API endpoint and click into the List All Customers. That will list all the customers defined in the market associated with your access token. When you click Send, the Commerce Layer API responds with all the data you requested. You have a few views you can click through. Lastly, if you click on the Header section, you'll see the various headers with all the values that are part of the response. You can also use the collection to make post, patch, and delete requests on several resources. You can find the Postman collection by Commerce Layer by searching for it on Postman. Take a look and let us know what you think. And you can always join the Commerce Layer community by visiting commercelayer.io and signing up. We hope to see you there, and thanks for watching today's video.